Hello, hello. I am the RPGchick, and I'm here with the ever awesome Sin Stream, and we're gonna bring you some Legend of Mana today. Hi, Sin. How you doing?
Hey, RPGchick, very good. Looking forward to this game. It's such a beautiful game.
Okay, I'm going to only bring up this chart so I know where to put my stuff. That is the one thing I never remember what to do, is where to put my stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna pick the female character because I love the way she looks. We are gonna start with a two-handed sword. So we're going to be running Dragon Present today. There are three main categories, Dragon, Jumi, and Fairy Present, with Fairy and Dragon being approximately the same length, and Jumi being a little bit longer. And I'm going to just name this RGL today.
Yeah, fortunately the speedrun route makes it somewhat of a linear game, because I feel like a lot of people play the game first, and they don't really know how they got to the end. There's so many things to explore.
It's very true, and the only downside to that is it sometimes makes the game a little bit disjointed, but still a lot of fun. Okay, so I have my map. I have my map selected. I think I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, this map choice is just to really give you the most positions to place artifacts. Good choice.
Yeah, there's optimal ways essentially to place the artifacts to give you like different mana levels and things like that. So we're going to be placing the artifacts in a very specific manner.
Home's a good place to start, though.
Home is a good place. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, we're going to skip the opening, but you'll probably get to see the ending. But the general premise is that, I mean, you can see our lovely mana tree here. Long ago, the mana tree burned to ashes, and you have all these enchanted items and artifacts, and mana has again begun to wane in the world. And we must restore it. We must heal the mana tree.
Yes, first we learned of the secret, and now we are learning the legend.
But yeah, this is a beautifully done game. If you've never actually seen it before, a lot of watercolor done backgrounds, very gorgeous bright work, and some pretty good bangers for music. Right, so I'm gonna set my skills here.
Yeah, for an RPG, we don't spend too much time in the menu. We ignore pretty much all the treasure and items. We don't buy anything. It's a really nice RPG to speedrun. Real-time combat as well.
Yeah. The nice thing about the real-time combat is that it kind of eliminates a lot of the RNG along the way. I mean, there's still some for sure, because bosses can still wreck your face, but not too bad.
So picking up the first artifact there. None of these artifacts kind of look like what they're going to turn into.
Yeah, some of them are especially weird with what they turn into. Just how is that inside of that artifact?
I love the music in Domina.
Domina has some good music. Lumina is my favorite town music though. So for our first little quest, we're actually going to be dipping a little bit into the Jumi storyline. And we're going to pick up this dude named Elazul. And Elazul is looking for his partner, Pearl. So we're going to help him find her. Also, Nicolo is a jerk, I want to point that out now.
Out of the way.
So, again, Elazul is just trying to look for his partner Pearl. We're going to offer to help. I'm going to actually push buttons and not screw up the inputs. There we go. And he thinks that this little girl knows where she is, and she kind of does. She gives us another artifact where he senses Pearl is inside.
I like this part of the story, but Elazul's kind of useless as a partner when it comes to combat.
This is true. I mean, a lot of your partners are kind of useless, to be honest, but Elazul might be the biggest problem.
Alright, our first combat area, the Caverns.
So yeah, every time you activate an event, you get those little titles that flash across the screen. So we're going to be clearing only a certain number of events. Basically what we have to in order to get through the Dragon storyline. Hear a very constant sound.
Yeah, and the combat here, RPGchick is going to be going for what's called power cancels, using the most powerful attack, but immediately trying to cast a ST that isn't equipped, allowing you to swing immediately again. So you might hear that cancel sound each time she's making a power swing. There's a big penalty for missing a power swing. You just hang out there with the sword extended. Good power swings there, though. And you do have to pick up all these coins, Lucra, and experience gems before the battle ends.
Yeah, it's good to pick them up anyway, though. The gems do count as experience. Also, these bats are really jerks to try to do power cancel swings on.
Yeah. If you just do the normal attack, you'll get like a combo set of attacks. The power swings usually take down enemies very quickly. Getting lined up with the enemies, though, is sometimes a challenge.
Yeah, some of the enemies definitely have some wonky lineup hitboxes, like those crabs. The crabs are jerks in terms of how specifically you have to be lined up in order to hit them.
So here we're really not worried about too many drops. We're just trying to get through the enemies as quickly as possible. Elazul just standing around, not really doing much.
He is good at stealing my gems, though.
Yeah, like at least help pick up some something. I don't know.
Alright, we're gonna get into the first boss battle now.
Just ignore the treasure chests.
And the lady walk around.
Alright, so this is where the music really ramps up. It's awesome. Try to get the bosses to the edge of the screen and then just wail on them.
I'm not
Now,
like I
as they use a so the bosses have their own STs or special techniques, and then you have yours, and some of these fights come down to just timing your ST. So when you're casting an ST, you're invulnerable, so you can kind of delay your ST use while the boss is using an ST.
That was nice. Elazul actually used his ST for something useful.
This boss is going down pretty quick, getting good power cancels. Okay, so boss's ST right here. RPGchick opting to just hang onto the left side, ensuring that the Rising Rush is going to hit. That'll be it.
And that's the first boss. Yeah, it's it's never fun to get pulverized by the boss, so try to learn some of the safe places in order to stand. But the good thing about this game is if you do happen to die in a battle, you can just restart it, thankfully.
Oh, hey, the Lost Princess.
Hi, Pearl.
Pearl's a little flirty.
She's also a little flaky. There is a Black Pearl in this game, if you get to play casually or play through the Jumi storyline, and Black Pearl is very cool. So she's going to give us a couple of artifacts, and first event is done. Unfortunately,
Nice.
before we can go into our second event, though, we gotta go back into the cave, and we're gonna do a little bit of weapon hunting.
Yeah, we get to fight some goblins. We're looking for either a black elk drop or an earth splitter drop, one of the two axes.
Yep, and luckily that lower bunk, by talking to it, sends you down to, like, one of the lowest levels in the cave, so we don't have to walk all the way down here.
Yeah, so these drops are random. We don't know if we're gonna get it or not on this fight. We'll see. They're sniping with their axes, though.
They definitely are.
Exploding to bones, though. I love it.
Nice, Earth Splitter. I love Earth Splitter. It's actually my preferred of the two axes. So you can get either Black Elk or Earth Splitter. Right? We actually said defend, so I don't mess this up. I don't have any STs to equip just yet, and now that we have an axe, we're going to make our way out of the cave and go on to find our next event trigger.
First try farm. That's fantastic.
I love it. I love when I get first try farm. Especially
First
because
booter.
later on there's going to be another weapon farm, and that doesn't always work out so nice.
Yeah, and Earth Splitter, it's the powerful of the two, so it's really good.
Yeah, the only downfall is I think it's Black Elk that has the shorter power move time if you do mess it up and get stuck, right?
Yes. Black Elk's a little more versatile, but in the later stages, it really ends up costing more time.
But yeah, typically you go for whichever one drops first. Make our way around the bunks and get the heck out of this cave.
Hey, now we get to go talk to your favorite character.
I know, I'm so excited to go talk to Nicolo. So in what we're gonna do, we're gonna trigger a new event, but we're not gonna quite complete it just yet. So I'm gonna come through here and I'm gonna pick up Nicolo, and Nicolo basically is talking about how there's been bandits on the highway. It makes it hard for merchants and for him to do business, and he basically wants our help in getting rid of them. So that's essentially how we kick off his quest. We agree, okay, fine, we'll help you. He's like, oh, I'm gonna make you rich. Spoilers, he doesn't make us rich. But first, we need to go talk to this teapot named Tipo.
We just skipped the fruit basket lady, though. Oh.
I know, the fruit basket lady is fun. She's basically a fortune teller, kind of, sort of, who is semi-helpful if you're playing the game casually.
It's Tipo.
But yeah, Tipo is one of Nicolo's suckers. She buys a lot of his stuff, and he was trying to sell her this fantastic wheel he found for 50,000 lucre, but he gives it to us because she can't afford it. Not good stuff and stuff. But, so we activated that event, but we're actually going to go do something else, which is almost kind of a tutorial that we need to do to kick off some other events. We're going to learn about monster taming. So by making our way up here, we'll be led to an area where little Pumpkinhead Dude will teach us how to catch monster eggs, put them in the corral, and take care of them if we want to use them as pets and use them in battle.
So there's a setup here to try to get the monster or the egg to eat the food pretty much the first drop, but this egg can run all around and get a little crazy. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn around.
You just call them a pumpkin head too?
I did call it a pumpkin head. It is, look at it, it's a pumpkin head.
I
It's totally
thought
a
it
pumpkin
was an
head.
onion, but I guess maybe.
I guess
both.
it could be an onion. Go ahead, eat it. Come on, eat it. There you go. I guess it could be an onion.
The strawberries victorious.
I mean, they give you 3 different foods to use, so I mean, sometimes you might have to wait a while if the monster is being stupid, but for the most part, it usually goes after the food pretty quickly because you're in such a limited space. So it talks about pets, it talks about eggs, and how you can sell eggs and all this other stuff, which we're gonna do none of. So we're basically doing this in order to progress other story triggers. And now, instead of doing Nicolo's quest, we're going to do one other thing. So I'm going to use the Firefly lamp. I'm going to open up Lumina. And we're going to go sell Firefly lamps to dud bears. I was going to say dumb bears. That's not good. But I love the music in this town.
Lumina's really pretty. It's nice.
That's a dud bear, by the way. So we're gonna come up here to the lamp shop, and Monique is gonna tell us about how she hasn't been able to sell any of her lamps, and so she's kind of thinking about just moving out of the city. And then you get the centaur Gilbert. Gilbert appears in a couple of different storylines by falling in love with various female creatures. And in this instance, he's taken a liking to Monique, and he's like, don't worry, I'll sell the lamps for you. And when we go speak to him, he's like, oh, here, sell half of these lamps for me. I'm gonna buy the other 3. I mean, technically, if you're playing it casually and you have a lot of money, you can just buy them yourself for 3,000 bucks. But we don't have anything like that. So we're gonna go learn some dud bear language, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, I still have no idea what the dud bears are saying. I just follow the guide.
Yeah, mostly it's just like, I remember dub is yes or good, and gack is no or bad. And something about telling about stars and nighttime and that kind of stuff. Alright, so let's do this. Alright, we sold our first lamp. I don't know what the heck was said except for stars and lamps, and yes and good, but we sold the lamp. We're gonna sell another one.
It's like Bonk. If you ever played Bonk's Adventure or Bonk's Revenge on the TurboGrafx CD, he has his own caveman language. That's pretty much what it is. Daba, Duba,
Yeah.
Booga Booga.
I do remember that some of the languages, like them asking, oh, are you a friend? Are you a friend to the dud bears? You know, basically getting in on their good side before you ask them if they want a lamp. Like, don't straight up ask them if they want a lamp because they'll just go gack.
Nice. 100% lamp selling. Perfect.
And the nice thing is Sin found out if you do mess this up, you can talk to the bartender and learn the language again and try again, which is really convenient.
Yeah. Otherwise, it used to be a reset.
Yeah.
didn't sell the lamps. Now what?
So now that Gilbert has delivered good on his promise, he's like, Monique, come out with me and look at the surroundings so we can talk. And they have this odd conversation about dreams. He basically wants to take her out into the world and have her build all these beautiful lamps and make masterpieces and just travel and let the Dud Bears do all the dirty work. But Monique is actually kind of happy doing what she's doing. She likes making the lamps herself, and she's kind of reproaches Gilbert for mocking her dreams. And Gilbert realizes, oh, maybe I don't love you as much as I thought I did. Goodbye.
Yeah, you're not dreaming big enough. Not the business I want to get into. Shortest love story ever.
Exactly. And Monique has one of the best lines when you come back in here and talk to her after Gilbert leaves. She's like, he wants much bigger lamps than I do, but I didn't think it was the size that mattered. But it turns out that the Dud Bears actually really liked Monique's lamps, and they basically are very happy to buy more from her in the future.
This is such a, it seems like such a side, like an off-thing side quest, but you get a pretty key artifact here for pretty much the rest of the game.
Okay, so we're gonna place the Trembling Spoon, which is gonna open up the underworld to us, even though we're not gonna go there just yet. And as Sin said, we're gonna be using that a couple of times actually, and it's going to kickstart off our dragon storyline. But first, we got to get rid of Nicolo. So I'm going to put down this wheel he gave me and open up the highway so that we can get rid of the bandits that that have been causing so many problems.
Cute little place though, that underworld from above.
But yeah, this part is pretty much all about getting rid of the bandits here on the highway with Nicolo. And picking up a couple of new techniques and skills along the way.
Yeah, earlier, if you remember, we said some of the skills. Those are going to start getting their upgrades now, based on the number of fights that have been taking place.
Okay, you can eat the candy, but don't take my experience, Nicolo. You're a jerk. Also, if you're a Yakuza sub and you have some prompts, you can put those prompts in chat for these rabbis. Okay, these rabbis are pretty jerks.
And their fights cause a lot of blood.
Apparently so. That's a major prompt. You know, Nicolo, you're not helping me by hitting the rabbi away from me. Just FYI. Okay, I picked up Sideswipe. We're gonna ignore that dude and that treasure chest.
I love that you could just ignore treasure chests.
I kind of do too. It's like telling the completionist in the ha, you're not getting any of those. Come here, plants.
Yeah, nothing here is too complicated. I mean, these fights go pretty quick. Wasting time with Nicolo's ST there, but not really.
The good thing is if you end the battle, it really him doing the ST isn't going to prolong things too much. Thank goodness.
again, just more of the power cancels in the fights.
Alright, there we go. So that is the last fight before the boss in this area, so I'm going to set my new skills. And I'm going to set my counterattack ability, and we're going to go on to the boss.
Yeah, the counterattack ability is probably one of the most useful. You can one-shot a lot of particular enemies with it. And you're going to see that later on in the run.
Yeah, you get counterattack and you get counter-strike. Both of them are extremely useful. Niccolo, what did I just say? Stop getting the monsters away from me. Okay, you need to stop blocking my friend.
The double team, that actually worked out well. Once the blocking stopped.
Yeah, the monsters are better at blocking than I am. But the bandits are gone. Nico's like, yeah, I knew you could do it. Now I'm gonna make you rich. Here, take these 3 pieces of junk that I usually sell for 3,000 bucks, and I'm only gonna charge you 300 for them. This is why nobody likes you, Nicolo.
Oh, and the flame. And a medallion.
Yes.
Just walk off already.
Now we're gonna start getting into some dragon shenanigans, but first, I am in need of some artifact placement. So Stone Eye, one of the weirdest artifacts, gives you one of the weirdest things, IMO. Gives you like a lake. I don't know why a Stone Eye gives you a lake. And then the medallion, which is going to give us a little forest. Neither of which we are going to use at all.
Yeah, it's unfortunate how many areas we do just kind of ignore.
A lot of it, though, is for the sake of how much mana is kind of in the land. So it is necessary to place the artifacts the way that they're being placed. But we're going to make one quick pit stop back in Lumina first, and we're going to pick up a companion for the rest of the trip.
Yeah, we get our pet goblin here. Guri.
And I believe Guri has an impact on... Where's Guri? Oh, there he is. He's hiding behind the building. I was like, where the heck is he? But he has an effect on certain attacks and how much damage they do, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, which you maybe haven't noticed yet. In combat, there's like a little lightning bolt that occurs between characters, and anytime
this dead bear won't get out of my way.
Anytime you're synchronized with your pet or Guri, oh, dead bear, please. Huh. Okay. I've never seen that.
I've never been blocked off by the dead bear before.
Now they're paying you back for calling them dumb bears. So, so yeah, Guri offers you 50% more attack power when you're synchronized with him. You have to be standing pretty close to him.
Which is unfortunate because sometimes Guri just goes wherever the heck he wants.
Yeah, overall, it's very useful in the run. But yeah, he does just wander around sometimes and waste time as well. But you gotta look for that lightning to sync.
So this is Lark. Lark is a dragoon of the dragon Draconis here in the Underworld. So most dragons seem to have dragoons that work for them, and Lark is Draconis is. So he draws us down into the underworld, saying that he needs us to do something. Like his master wants our help. So we went down into the underworld to see what it is that his master wants. Navigating the underworld is interesting.
Yeah, about every screen looks the same.
Yeah, this is one of the few dungeons that I still get kind of lost in sometimes. Oh, that was the wrong way.
We are going deeper though, but we're actually blocked off here until you're baptized, which we just saw a brief section, the baptismal chamber. You can't actually get deeper into the underworld.
Right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go seek out Olbon, who is going to allow us to get the baptism to go further down.
Did I just say keep the dead deader? I don't know what it said.
But yeah, so Olbon agrees to grant us the baptism to go down below. The shadow is going to take us back to that baptismal chamber. And then one of the other shadows will actually do the baptism for us.
I don't know why the shadows are so hip.
The baptism of flames. Sounds very painful. But now that we have it, as Sensei, we can go further down into the dungeon.
It's only a couple battles here. For the underworld, you would think it's going to be complicated, but just navigating it's complicated, I guess.
Yeah. Delicious jewels, give them to me.
So there, we're getting a little bit of synchro with Guri. See the lightning along the top.
Hey, buddy, get back here. Okay, got a new ability, which is Counter Strike, which I'm gonna set now. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about any armor, nothing. Just getting these abilities, and we're good to go. I mean, really nice for an RPG.
It is, actually. So this fight is interesting. It can go really, really quickly or really, really slowly, depending on what this flame does and doesn't do.
Bless RNG here.
So, essentially the flame lets it hit you until it doesn't feel like letting it hit you anymore. And then it vanishes. You get the ST, which is the face masks, doing various whatevers, and then it reappears until it feels like disappearing again.
It was a pretty good start, though. Sometimes it starts immediately with an ST.
Yes. The corner is a pretty safe place to hide, though. Hey, where you going, Flame? Back here. No, I was almost there.
I know, and you had the sync too. You're doing pretty good damage. Oh.
Yeah, the AIs and the other characters are not always the smartest. Oh my god, I didn't even get to hit. Buzz is a jerk sometimes.
It's like 1.5 hits away almost, or barely. It's right there.
Huh. But yeah, you really have zero control over whether that thing wants to just up and vanish or not.
Alright. Nice explosion.
So this was basically a test to see if we live up to Lord Draconis' needs. And we did. We beat the monster, so we get to meet Draconis. And he's like, "Oh, you found the one, the other warrior. And Draconis basically tells us, oh, I had my power stolen by these other dragons, and I need you to defeat these other dragons in order to get it back. And you kind of have no choice in the matter but to accept, because you've had this baptism of flames. You can't really return to the world above without fading away after a certain amount of time. So either help me or fade to nothingness.
You're just looking around like, what?
But he gives us some artifacts to help us on our way. One of them useful, one of them not. So we're gonna set up the Norn Peaks, and we're gonna set up whatever the heck junkyard it is that broken doll gives us.
The little balance of the toy at the end is, I love that.
Boop. So we're going to basically do what Draconis wants, and we're going to go seek out the other 3 dragons. And this will be the first one. This is going to be where essentially the dragon in the sky, dragon on the mountain, the wind dragon, whatever you want to call it, is going to be located.
Yeah, this area is really cool. We get to fight some wind callers. A lot of combat here. This is where the Earth Splitter really starts to shine.
Yeah, essentially, Archivator, the dragon that's up here, has these has different color guards, and there's 3 green ones that block the barrier to Archivator himself, which you can only essentially get to if you defeat them. And the Earth Splitter, because it does do more damage, makes those fights a little bit quicker. Even regular attacks are pretty good with Earth Splitter, to be honest.
Yeah, you're getting through these areas pretty quick. These enemies could stun you, and it can get really out of control. This is going fast. And just the scenery is so beautiful.
It is. It's such a pretty game. So these are all Dragoons for Archivator, especially the green ones. Again, the green ones are going to be the ones that are going to be standing in our path. But Lark is like, you are no match for me. But the Dragoons know that Lark has come here to kill their dragon. So they're going to do whatever they can, of course, to stop him. Yeah, these eggplant breeds are jerks. And the faster you can get them better, because they will confuse you. And just like in Secret of Mana, confusion basically reverses your D-pad controls.
Yeah. Always fun.
Yeah, the hitboxes on some of these monsters are a little bit wonky also.
Yeah, you're trying to like line up with their shadows. It's still not straightforward sometimes.
So we're gonna get the first one of these Dragoon fights up here. The Dragoons can use a lot of Sylph magic, a lot of wind magic, but as long as you keep hitting them, they will be stunned from using said magics. So like sometimes you'll see the little waves around the bird, and the bird's so every time you see that, he's trying to cast Sylphid magic, but every time you hit him, he gets interrupted, and that keeps hitting the bird away from you.
Yeah, as long as you can keep stopping that ST from happening is really good. Not really getting much. There's just a little bit of Guri sync and makes the fight go much quicker.
Yeah, but oops, wrong way. Hearing that kind of sound, Lark is like, is there some kind of barrier? And yeah, well, there is. Let's go the right way. Yeah, the placement of the artifacts, the distance from home does matter. The further you place things from home, the more difficult the monsters become. So yeah, it not only matters for the amount of mana in the areas, but it also matters for difficulty of the monsters that you're fighting. So I'm gonna dig around the back of this guy. And let's see if this goes a little bit better. I love that he's trying to start off with a spell. Come on. He's like, he could use magic. Nice double team, Lark. Instead of hitting him away from me. He does that a lot.
2 down. 1 to go.
So there are 3 main storylines. It's this one, which is the dragon line, the fairy storyline, and the Junie storyline. Those are the 3 main storylines that you get in this game. I like that so much better than Tornado as my AoE. Tornado kind of sucks. Flying Soul Blades go a far distance away from you when you use it. Tornado is a little bit more, you kind of have to be in the thick of the monsters when you use it in order for it to hit everything. But each weapon kind of has its own set STs. So if I had gotten the Black Elk axe instead of this axe, then I would have gotten Tornado. But since I got this, I got Flying Soul Blades. And here is going to be the first usage of Counter-Strike. So we're going to use that against these monsters coming up because it will basically one-shot them.
You're basically just holding the defense and hoping they attack, and then you'll get a quick counterattack. But sometimes they don't fight. Oh, there you go. About. Even just getting 1 is really good.
Yeah, the Counter-Strike is going to be used quite a few times. It does a lot of damage, actually, surprisingly. And here is the last Dragoon. And I'll make him better before I talk to him. Lark's ST really is not too good.
Yeah.
They're just kind of standing there. Do you guys want to do something?
I know, like, just get a little closer, Guri. There you go. Like, the fight's over. Okay, I'll walk over by you. Oh, man.
But the 3 Dragoons are down. And now we can make our way back and open up the barrier.
Couple more tries for the counterattack. Come on. There we go.
These big dudes give a lot of experience, which is nice.
2 counterattacks. All these item drops, we don't use any of them.
Nope. So we're gonna make our way further up the mountain to try to get to Archivator.
good counterattack, though.
It was a good counterattack. Guys, I left you over here with this dude. Can you please kill him?
Guri's little wax, though. I mean, it's kind of cute, I guess.
So, with their brethren fallen, these blue bird dragoon guys try to stop us, but yeah, it doesn't amount to much.
It's the power of Lark. Listen to the strong. Wow. Cocky much.
Got one of them. Okay, I'm kind of waiting for this dude to actually bait into my counter.
Yeah, he's too busy getting smacked by Guri's toss there.
Which is fine, but Guri just doesn't do enough damage quickly.
He's trying. He wants to be evil. I think that's what he says. I want to be more evil.
Yes,
Take
he
me
does.
along.
Alright, so this is the jerk dragon of the mountain. Archivator.
You thought the mantis could block.
Yeah, essentially every time Archivator decides to lift up into the air and move spots, he becomes invulnerable for however long it takes him to set up and land. Yeah, you can hear that now. So I know he's getting ready to take off and fly across the screen. He's kind of a pain in the butt. That.
His
I'm
ST
gonna
is
miss.
also
Walk back.
really long, yeah.
You're a jerk, Archivator. It figures that a dragon that's in charge of a bunch of birds would be a jerk. To be honest. To be completely honest.
Yeah, this music going to spike.
Oh my god, can you stop flying around, please? You're just prolonging the inevitable.
Guri's also on the wrong, just too far away to get any sync. Come on, Guri.
And he's being another. Archivator, you're being a pure jerk today. Congratulations, you win 3 inches. Oh my god!
It's getting close here.
But yeah, Archivator has 3 STs. One of them is summoning up the blast from below. This one where he flies across the screen, and then the one where he makes like a little whirlwind around him.
Wing flexing all day.
I don't think I've seen him fly this much in ages. True marathon runner here, folks. No, I missed. How did I miss that? It looked like he like dodged around me. What the absolute heck?
Yeah, I mean, ST use is sometimes just questionable.
Oh yeah.
But like, ultimately never really posed a threat, but you're
No,
just
he's
chasing
just
the
he's
fight.
just an evasion jerk. So apparently, Draconis' power is stored in these mana stones, which Lark taps the power from to return to his master. So there's going to be one in each of the 3 locations where we're going to get to the dragons. So this is the first one.
The Wind Caller. Oh, my mana stone.
So we got the dragon bone. That's going to be our next area. We're going to have to do a little bit of a mini side event when we first go in. So there's a whole bunch of kids on a field trip here, essentially. This is a terrible place to take kids on a field trip. I don't care how fantasy the game is. You do not take your children on a field trip to a bone dungeon. But they're supposedly gathering magical ingredients, so you have to help them collect the correct magical ingredients.
Oh yeah, and we don't get to see little cactus that pretty much at all. Just a couple moments.
Yeah.
There's 3 particular ones we have to grab here. 2 of them look very similar.
A lot of them look really similar to me.
Worst case scenario, they make the wrong ingredient, you got to go back.
Yeah, it's not like you don't really lose much except for time, so it's not a huge deal. Because I have definitely been bum rushed by the wrong NPC that gets in my way before. But now that we've gotten through this little field trip part, the Dragon of the Bone Dungeon is awakening. And that's going to be our next dragon to seek out. But yeah, the kids were basically hearing voices and stuff, and they think it's the dragon inside. Well, there you go. The gigantic roar to indicate, hey, dragon.
The face of the sprite on the left, I never noticed that.
I do like how the main storyline quests come with the little emblems. So like for all the dragon quests, you get the dragon emblems in the background of the titles. And then there's a fairy symbol for the fairy storyline and a Jumi symbol for the Jumi storyline. So this is the guardian of the dungeon. He can be a jerk, but usually not as bad. If he just keeps firing his arm, that'd be great.
I don't think I've ever seen the leap attack there. It could be.
He keeps like low cutting me. It's very mean. His hitbox is also huge. But he's usually pretty easy.
Yeah, that's good cornering.
So interestingly, another one of the reasons we do need Guri for this, you cannot go into this dungeon and do anything unless you have at least 3 party members. So you either have to have a pet with you or some other creature coming along with you in this particular part of the story. It just will tell you, oh, you don't have enough characters, bye. Oh, heck, get back in there.
Yeah, so we're looking for one more drop, one more weapon drop here, which is the Brave Blade. And you can get it by fighting these 2. You can get it on this first pass.
No luck though. But yeah, basically, if I don't get it on the way back, I have to grind in this spot until I get a Brave Blade. But first, we need to get back some of our compatriots, so we're going to pick up Guri first. Because apparently we sprung this trap when we hit the switches back in the first area. So we have to collect our comrades again. But yeah, it's time to see how many tries getting a Brave Blade is going to take, because these dudes can drop Brave Blades, but they can also drop Throat Slitters, and I don't want Throat Slitters. They do me no good.
You could easily lose like 3 minutes here farming.
Yeah, it just depends on if they want to be nice or not, and there's no drop at all that time.
Yeah, anytime you see a bag, there's hope, but then in that bag it needs to be a Brave Blade.
Alright, here we go for try number 2. And these swords also like to turn into shields randomly and block. Oh, there's a bag. What do I got? What do I got? Throat Slitter, of course. I got lucky with the axe, so now I'm not gonna get lucky with the Brave Blade.
Yeah, it could balance. It could even out here.
Bag. 2 Throat Slitters! Oh my god. That is super unlucky to get 2 Throat Slitters from 2 drops.
I don't even know the odds of getting the Brave Blade.
I don't either, to be honest. Drops that time. That was what, 4?
Well, considering how many Throat Slitters you've gotten, I don't usually even get that many Throat Slitters. So.
If I'm unlucky, then I'm super unlucky and I get like tons of Throat Slitters. Yeah, we might be here for a few minutes, folks. I think we're already at 5, so I think that's an unfair question. Although I guess chat is a little bit behind, so...
We'll call that 5. More or less than 10, let's see.
Nope.
This is our life now, just wrecking swords.
Exactly. This is where we live now. We live in this hallway. Oh, I see a bag. What is it? What is it? That's a Throat Slitter. God damn it.
Yeah, you don't even know until after the fight's over. We just sit there in suspense.
I think I once did this 15 times before I got a Throat Slitter. I mean, a Brave Blade, rather. Let's hit the sword. No bags. Not at all. Not even one. Wow. Wow. Where are we at now?
So this is Legend of Mana Dragon percent. Oh, about 45 minutes into the run, you have to see if you're gonna get a Brave Blade drop.
It's frustrating, but because I have definitely gotten Brave Blade on the first way in without having to even grind anything.
Right, yeah, the first visit to the room you can get it.
But we're doing a marathon run here, folks. So you know, if we're gonna get bad luck, this is the time. Yes, finally. How many times was that?
I'd have to go back and count. I was at least 10.
How many? Wait, I need to see. How many Throat Slitters do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Throat Slitters. Wow. That's a lot of Throat Slitters.
We're in there. Let's go.
I do have to reset my STs because the STs are, again, they're weapon specific. So the ones that I had for the axe are not any good for the sword. But the counter-strike and the counter-attack and stuff are, oops, I got pushed to it, are fine. So now that we have a Brave Blade, we can finally go find where Lark went and retrieve him also.
nothing but good luck ahead, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely. So this is Sierra. We've seen her before. And she's trying to stop us. She's like, don't you know what Draconis is going to do? I have to stop you, blah, blah, blah. She is a really good person to use Counter-Strike against, unless she just decides to spin in 5 million circles like that, and not actually attack.
Dancing Sierra. Yeah, this fight with Counter-Strike or Counterattack was much quicker, but she can be really tricky to sway.
Yeah, sometimes it's like she knows. But when she goes down, you can pick up the key. If I can pick up the key, and go retrieve us a Lark.
Elusive key. They buttered up the key.
Yeah, I think I stepped over that key like 3 times before it let me pick it up. Brave Blade is pretty powerful. It does a heck of a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's gonna also be the weapon we use the rest of the game.
Yeah, luckily there is no more weapon grinding. We're good. We got what we need. So we pick up Lark. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I fell through this trap." But let's go. Let's complete our mission and go defeat the dragon in here. So we're actually gonna have a little mini boss rush. Not a bosses we already fought, but just a mini boss rush. So the first boss we run into is actually kind of reminiscent of the Dark Lich from Secret of Mana. I mean, this place is basically associated with death and bones and all this other stuff, so this is the Deathbringer. It really does look like Dark Lich to me in 3D. He has a few magic attacks, he has a few STs.
Yeah, the STs are really time consuming.
But you can see, the Brave Blade is very powerful, and that one attack basically just completely wrecked his,
Yeah, that was a good lunging arc.
his health.
Lunging arc with Lark.
Yeah, I always thought of Dark Lich when I see that boss. But with the Guardian Deathbringer out of the way, we're gonna come up onto the next boss. Why did you go back? Why?
Yeah, he tried to loop Guri around a little bit, and then he just kind of...
He does whatever he wants anyway. So this is Jajara. Jajara is the Bone Dragon. He is the next dragon we're gonna have to fight. He is quote-unquote the dragon of knowledge as well.
A little low on health, but shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Luckily, your health actually does recover over time, and if you die during the course of battle, then I die.
As long as one character's up standing, it's fine. You do have to wait.
I wonder if Lark is actually going to do this, or if he's going to die.
It's getting close.
He might die though on this hit. Oh, maybe not. Oh, okay. Okay. Come on, Lark, you got this. But you can see the great bar above. Your health is recharging while you're waiting. Come on, Lark. You have like 2 more hits, dude. And now I got them, so I'm gonna put this. But yeah, as long as somebody is alive, you will eventually pop back up, which is nice. Unfortunately, this dragon has 2 forms, and for some reason the dragon picks up the statues before the next form, which I never really understood. Again, even if we die, it's really not a big deal, because you can just restart the fight, kind of a la Mystic Quest, because everything is basically Mystic Quest.
Look good with the timing of that. Plunging arc is extremely powerful.
Yeah, I love that. The only bad thing is, of course, because it's a linear attack, if you're on the wrong line a lot of the time, well, you whiff. So our Dragon Dracoon is gonna go and get the power from the second mana stone while we wait for Guri to, you know, just stroll his way up. He's like, oh, you want to ask me a question? He's like, and we're just randomly, oh yeah, what about mana? And he's like, oh, these stones have been collecting mana, and I can use their power to return Draconis' strength, and... But yeah, there's only one dragon left. So Sierra, the other girl we were fighting, is also a dragoon. And her dragon is now the last dragon left. So now we need to hunt them down.
Each artifact you lay, you can also start seeing the like mana tree showing up in the top left, growing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Starting to see. So that's why you need a certain number of artifacts before you can finally get to the final area.
So Lark says that the properties in this forest kind of block him from picking up Sierra or Vidis the White Dragon's trail, and he's like, oh, you should lead the way. It basically means that, oh yeah, you're right. And she is coming from this direction, so you basically know if you're going the right way or not, because he'll tell you, I either sense her or I don't sense her, depending on which direction. Which I guess is convenient. It seems to defeat the purpose of him saying he really can't sense her, but whatever.
Here you have goblins that, well, look like Guri.
Well, I mean, if he wants to be evil, killing his brethren is a good way to start.
Yeah, the Guri's like really off the screen, and then you just have like the exact lookalike that you're killing. It's weird.
So this tree is another thing that can be baited into a Counter-Strike, but it doesn't want to cooperate today. So I'm gonna have to slash it instead. Wow, stinky on the gems this one.
Wow, they jumped right to you. That's kind of nice.
That was very nice. So Sierra tries to talk sense into Lark, saying that, you know, is like, oh, he just wants the power of the Mana Stone so he can return to the surface. Basically, Draconis is not a very good guy, but Lark, being Draconis' servant, can only return to the surface world if his Dragon Master also returns to the surface world. So that's kind of Lark's side in this. Like, he's doing all these evil things, but he's trying to do it so that he can return from the underworld. And this is Vadis, the last dragon, the white dragon. He does not desire any blood to be shed between these two. And just says, Lark, the Mana Stone is back there, please go take it, and leave. And he hopes that when he goes back to Draconis, he'll see the error of his ways. But Vadis wants us to try to help in the matter, essentially. Draconis is very powerful, and he'd like us to see if we can stop this. So he's going to kind of test our mettle a little bit, if you will.
Yeah, this fight's a little tricky, because you have to have Sierra kind of occupied so you can attack the beast. But sometimes Yuri doesn't do a good job of distracting Sierra, like right now. Actually, kind of.
He was, and then he stopped.
And then once you can focus on Sierra, it's fine, but with the decent way, it gets a real pain.
Alright, Sierra. She keeps switching her attention, which is really aggravating.
Yeah, trying to get the counterattack anytime you see the defense of holding the sword up, so you can get the full blow, but Sierra's just dancing around. It's very similar to the first fight, but he's just in the way. I can't see where anything is. I'll just sleep here. Oh.
Vadis has picked a very bad place to go to sleep.
There we go. Now we're landed those counterattacks. As you can see, 3 counterattacks in a row done. Once Sierra cooperates, it's nice.
Yo, TDX, Sin also runs Soul Blazer, so definitely worth checking out.
Exclamation blame.
I don't think that's in this chat, unfortunately. Okay, we're gonna make one quick placement. And then we're gonna go after Lark and Draconis.
A bit of coral.
At least a touch of coral and getting a torch of coral rather, and getting the seaside makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, one more time through the underworld? How about it?
Yep. So, Sierra wants to help us, essentially, go rescue Lark. But she cannot navigate the underworld by herself, and she asks us to help guide her through. So we're gonna do just that. Because we have some stake in this also, right?
Sierra's awesome. Good companion.
Yeah, Sierra is definitely the best of the companions along this journey. So Draconis kind of chides her for coming to rescue her brother, but Sierra's having none of it. She's very cool.
It's like, whoa.
But now I have to remember how to get through here again. The underworld is definitely the most annoying of the dungeons, only because so much of the stuff looks the same, and it's like, go to the right, go to the right, go to the right, and then randomly second door, or first door. I think that's the most aggravating thing about navigating through this particular dungeon. The others really are not so bad. And there's a lot of landmarkers to kind of tell which way you're going or which way you've gone. But yeah. Also me pressing the correct buttons. But yeah, I love Sierra. Sierra's design is very cool. She's a good fighter. She's actually a very helpful companion, unlike some of the others we've had. But she steals my gems. All the time, she steals my experience. It's like, thank you for helping pick them up, but you're stealing my XP.
I mean, you're basically done with the battle before Guri even gets to the battle.
Yeah.
He's so far behind.
There are instances where you have to wait for Guri to walk up during cutscenes. And I think that's one of the worst. This is where I start to get a little bit lost in myself. I always forget which way I have to go in the door and then which way I have to go in the second
bedroom,
door.
hey.
They're both supposed to be dragons, as far as I know. Both Sierra and Lark. There we go. Okay, so the shadow is going to send us to the bottom of the underworld, where Draconis is. I sense evil up ahead. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Let's go. And Guri is nowhere on this screen.
He's just strolling. I mean, we're carrying him through. Strolling.
But Draconis has what he wants. He's got his power back from the Mana Stones, and he can reclaim his former glory. And Lark kind of reveals that this was his intention because he wanted to go back to the surface to, to see her and be amongst the living again. And he thought he would be able to mitigate all of this because he would fight Draconis and kill him before he could, do anything. But because Lark is a servant of Draconis, and Draconis is now super duper powerful, Draconis is going to take advantage of that and do some not nice things to Lark.
Honestly, Lark doesn't quite look like a wolf dragon though in a full form here. It's a weird transformation, I have to say.
Yeah. It looks more like a centaur in this transformation, which is absolutely not what he is at all. It's weird. Lark is weird. It's
Good position. That was a lot more than 2 hands.
It was.
Inches.
Let me get out of here. Get out of here. I'm taking my experience. Get lost. I need that experience for killing monsters later. He took like 2/3 of my experience. You jerk.
He did nothing the whole fight. No. Just took the jumps. That was good. That was a good lineup.
Yeah, that was a good fight. Well, unfortunately though, with Lark down, Draconis had time to regain his full power, and is going to use the underworld as his base of operations, but we're going to do a little bit of scenery change first.
Yeah, I think you can actually, like, do a stretch break right here.
You can actually. It's a bit of a cutscene. It's like a minute. Exactly. Wolves and dragons don't have hooves.
A little hot. A little hot there. We just lit the fire.
I love this background so much. It's so pretty. It's so cool looking. So we wake up at the entrance to Draconis' tower. And it turns out that Vadis's spirit was protecting us, basically. But, Vadis warns that if you go in, you might not be able to come back out. And you might be trapped inside. So, you know, basically take our GL with you so that we can fight together and you have a chance against Draconis, because you might not be able to defeat him by yourself.
I always found this area to be difficult to navigate. I thought this was the tricky one.
I find this easier for some reason than the underworld. I don't know why. I'm weird.
There are like fixed traps in this where you have to trigger, so. Yeah, the music in this place is amazing.
Oh, yes. Swords don't be jerks. We've already been jerks today.
Chess piece hop around into
Zira is such a good partner. She actually does stuff that's cool.
Yeah, having to go back to like the coins and the gems. It's a weird movement too. You don't like. You gotta like wiggle movements around to move faster. So when you have to go collect the gems and Wooper, it's tough sometimes. Kind of like.
I like that I picked up another Red Splitter Rabbis there.
Yeah, that wasn't ever a problem.
No, of course not.
The game started teasing you with more brave words.
Oh, I have to kill the game if that happens. So this is going to be the first Pitfall trap. Again, they're automatic. There's nothing you can do to get around them. They have to be triggered. But what this is going to do is it's going to lead us to essentially the first place where we can break down one of the barriers in the tower.
Yeah, similar to what we did on the peaks. We'll fight a couple of mini bosses.
Unfortunately, it does mean a little bit of going forward and backtracking. Essentially, once we defeat this first little mini boss, we do have to backtrack upstairs a little bit, but it's not like super far backtracking, so it's not that bad. Ow.
Trying to get the dragons pinned to the side of the screen to avoid that, or to get the best hits in.
Guri has done. He's done nothing but dance this entire time, back and forth.
Yeah, we really want Guri to get close to us so we can get the extra damage. There it goes.
But that's the first barrier of the castle down. There's at least one more dragon, and then something else we have to fight to get rid of the other two. But we do have to backtrack upstairs first. Yeah, the statue save points that are shaped like Pitfall are really good. I really like them. There you go. There's a good boy. So here's the next pitfall. It's going to bring us down to the next mini boss.
Trying to trap it on the side.
I want
Only
to try to
get the
push
walk
this
point.
at least a little bit to the right.
Yeah.
Mostly because of Guri. Because basically, this cutscene won't start until Guri has walked up to you, and if he's halfway across the room,
Yeah, that was really good.
yeah, that worked out very nicely.
Coming up this room always reminded me a little bit of Chrono Trigger.
A little bit, yeah.
The ones I've heard. Magus' Child's Play.
Okay, I didn't get any Brave Blades there. I feel better. I would have been so angry if both of those drops were Brave Blades.
It's like the record throat splitters.
Yeah, I did pick up another throat splitter there. So many items.
You are getting a lot of item drops. I guess it could, but at least a few frames each time, right? And
Yeah.
another pop up.
Unfortunately, a lot of the monsters in here don't actually give crystals, they only give coins. Which is a little aggravating. But we're almost up to the point where the third mini boss is, so...
Yeah, really good pace through here so far.
Yeah, this tower has been pretty good. So we get to fight transformed Lark again. Wait, it's not any more difficult than it was the first time, so it's fine. It's just like, oh, I'm sorry, Lark, I have to hit you again.
Yeah, the lunging arc is just so strong.
Yeah, it does at least a full bar of health damage. I'm just gonna chill under you.
Sierra was kind of maybe waiting to use an ST there. Just could have used it a lot sooner.
Again, the AI is not always the most brilliant.
They could have finished it with a regular attack. That was actually good. Yeah, one ST off, not bad at all.
Yeah. But that is the last of the mini bosses, so it's time to go confront Draconis himself. So the Draconis fight is interesting. Draconis has a terrible hitbox.
Yeah, I still don't know where exactly it is.
Yeah, I don't either. It's like, it's on his head, but it's not on his head. It incorporates part of his body, but it doesn't. I don't know. But if you kind of stand behind him and hit towards his head, you kind of hit it. So, yeah. But I have definitely gotten smushed in this fight, so...
Yeah, it can overwhelm pretty quick, so... It all depends how it starts, we'll see.
But yeah, Sierra talks about how Vadis wanted her to stop him, and she's here to avenge Lark, and Draconis talks about how Lark is his. He consumed his soul as well as the souls of the other dragons. And he's just an evil dude.
Let's go.
And now he wants to eat us. So let's see what we can do here.
Cue the enormous dragon.
Yes. Sierra, instead of dancing around, you know, you could do something.
Pretty good positioning now, though. Got a lot of hits there.
Yeah.
Kind of want to hang at the top of the screen, but then because it's safe up there, but you also can still get some hits in.
Yep. It depends on what he wants to do. Like, if he wants to eat you, he'll just eat you like there. He just ate all three of us. Because that's the thing he does. That attack is the most annoying one. The little air blades.
Yeah, it just keeps pushing back. So close.
He keeps eating me. It's very aggravating. But he's down. He's down. He's down. We're good. This is fine.
Guri just didn't make it though.
He almost... I don't think I've ever made it through this fight and had Gray not die at least once.
We're just riding Guri. There we go.
So, because the dragon story arc is a main story arc, you actually do get kind of a mini ending, which is nice. But first we need to have the evil tower return back to the underworld entrance. Yeah, some very intense animations and explosions when the bosses die.
Back to cutesy underworld.
So most of this dialogue progresses on its own for the most part, but so even though we've kind of defeated Draconis and freed Lark, because Lark is still his servant, and he's still kind of trapped in the underworld with Draconis, but Lark is very determined to find a way, essentially, to break the curse and eventually be able to return to the surface again. But Sierra is not happy with the situation, essentially. So, when Dracon is dead, essentially, the other dragons, I guess, are able to resurrect. I guess my thought is the power of the Mana Stones are returned, so the dragons can regain their actual form. So, it's kind of happy. So, the dragons come back. You get Archavator, the Bone Dragon, Jajara, and Vadis actually get to regain their full forms, which is nice.
Yeah, I love this part, but it's just it's like all the work we did. It was basically full circle here.
Yeah. I like that the Bone Dragon still has to have the crashing through the ceiling.
Yeah, no little green statue heads. But...
I still would like to know why he picks them up in the second phase of
I
battle.
don't know. It's so weird.
But you do get a happy ending, and you get to see that Lark returns to the surface and brother and sister get reunited.
Now we get to go on a little vacation.
We do. First, we gotta put some artifacts down, though. And then we're gonna go do some summer love and vacation. Again, we're gonna ignore these places. We're gonna go to the beach.
I know, they look so nice.
They do.
Maybe not that one.
In the course of going to the beach, we get treated to this little story about the penguin pirate and his girlfriend. So you have David, who is a pirate, and his girlfriend Valerie. And Valerie is very upset that David has to go back out to sea, and she's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna hatch this by myself." And David's like, "Oh my God, you laid an egg? Where? Come back!" And so we're gonna chase after them. Also, I love this track. This track is one of my favorites in the game.
Yeah, I mean, after all the chaos we just went through, now you get this little reprisal. It's nice.
Yeah. I do hate that the trees are blocking like almost everything. Jelly? Here's a jelly. Thank you. And if you've played Trials of Mana SD3, you're actually going to get a treat when we get to the next boss fight. And I mean the original, not the remake. How many crabs am I gonna step on? A lot, because one just ran right into my path. Did you see that? He came right for me.
They just trinkle, but at the same time, I mean, they're costing time. I love these little aquatic enemies, though. They're kind of cute.
Yeah. Bat, can you stop moving around so much? Oh, Bat, why?
Flying creatures are the worst in this. Just to line up.
I like this thing, whatever it is. It's very cute. I don't know what it is, but it's cute.
Got fish meat.
Yes, I avoided all the crabs.
One just hanging out in the corner, just randomly.
I think he's just chilling. Yeah, don't paralyze me. That's cool.
And here we only have Guri to fight with, so it doesn't go too fast. You have to basically do all the work.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is for the rest of the game now, is it's just Guri.
Fully crabs. Yeah.
And a swordfish. Hi, swordfish. Do you want to come here? Thanks.
The double pokes in. Who's that?
The crabs in the second two rooms are much easier to avoid than the ones in the first room. So yeah, so if you've played SD3, the original SD3, you should recognize this boss. It is the first boss from Second Densetsu 3.
I have not, so I'm learning. This is one of the fights that you want to get as much damage as you can in early on. The STs again take so much time.
Wake up. Wake up. Thank you. I completely swung and missed her. But it's
The
okay.
double jump though, like... I mean, good job avoiding the second one. That was close.
Yeah, that was a very quick succession of ST. I wish I could do that.
Let's go, Gary. Not as cute. Yeah.
But we get to catch up with our two lovers. And Valerie's like, oh yeah, I just want to have an egg in the future. You go back to your ship. And David promises that eventually he'll return. And it's a little sad. If not 10 years from now, 100 years from now, I promise I'll come back to you. But the reality is she actually does have an egg. And she's sad that she has a pirate for a boyfriend. So we are almost
loving.
ready for the mana tree here.
Yeah, we're gonna place the final artifacts.
So we're going to do a very odd series of events to activate the next event. We're going to do a lot of going in and out of places. So we're going to come into the home and then we're going to leave right away. And come, if I can not press down, there we go. And we're going to come right back inside and it's going to trigger the next event at home.
Yeah, triggering the little cactus and the sproutling.
Yep. So even though we've basically never seen Little Cactus before this, except at the very, very, very beginning, we find that one of the sproutlings has collapsed and Little Cactus is like, oh, is he dead? And this is where the other sproutlings are like, oh no, you know, all plants are part of the mana tree and we'll eventually rejoin it and help revive it, essentially. And Little Cactus is very excited by this. And he's so excited that he runs off. And even though we're gonna start this the little sorcerers event, we're not gonna do anything with it. And we're gonna go after Little Cactus. And you can see he leaves like these little leaf trails behind that we're following over to the workshop. We're gonna have to do some things to trigger this as well. So, the little sproutling apparently ran into this other world, housed by that weird-looking plate glass, stained glass dude back there. And essentially we need to go into that world in order to retrieve the Sproutling. And this is how we trigger it all.
Yeah, skipping some of the dialogue here by going out and faster than talking to that guy.
Yeah.
Nunezak or something? Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't remember his name. It's such a strange name. Okay. You're being a jerk. These little guys are jerks too. Their hitboxes are a little wonky. And they move around a lot.
It's giving you the trouble there.
Yep. It does that often. We're gonna make quick work of this. See, that's why I like the Wind Slasher. It's so much better than Tornado.
Yeah, I know. I mean, just, it has a good range.
Yes.
One shot. That's it.
The little flying creatures always have the worst hitboxes. But we finally find the little Sproutling. After we wait for Guri to stroll up.
Yeah, that's it. We're gonna get the final artifact.
Yep, the Sproutling is basically like, oh, I have to go to the Mana Tree to heal it. And we get the Mana Sword, the very, very last artifact.
I love that, huh? About to get carried away. A hardy looking tree. Let's go final area. I really like this area too. It looks really nice.
It does. Unfortunately, the Mana Goddess can be a bit of a jerk. But we do have to wend our way through the tree first, so enjoy the super pretty scenery. Also wended my way through the tree, there we go.
Yeah, where an exit is on some of these streams is tough sometimes to notice.
Also, some of the paths are a little hard to see as well.
There's quite a few fights here, but again, having Counter-Strike, having the Wind Slasher is going to make pretty quick work of some of these.
I do like that you get to like go into the tree and around the tree. It's very, very neat. to me. Hey, dragon butt, get over here. Experience, delicious experience. We're also gonna get to see a little Final Fantasy related treat as well.
Little bug doctor with the raid, thanks.
Don't be a jerk.
Telling birds not to be jerks.
Yeah, I know. What am I thinking?
The other enemy, come on, come up. Come to the party.
Yeah, I don't even try with the cockatrice. It never cooperates. And I'd rather not get stoned. So yeah, for all you Final Fantasy fans, here you go as a chocobo, a black chocobo to boot. I'm unsure why there is a black chocobo, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. As far as I know, it's the only one, but maybe not. I don't know.
It's the only one I remember, but yeah.
Hey, chocobo. Bye, chocobo. You didn't even try to ride it.
Hey, I had no time to ride chocobos. I have to get to the top of the mana tree, okay?
I mean, this looks like a perfect path for a chocobo, just saying.
It does, it does. Alright, tree, are we gonna play along, or what? We're just gonna hop around? Of course.
Yeah, trying to get, again, the counterattacks on the trees.
The tree is not cooperating.
It's worth it if it happens. Even like 2 or 3. Or 4 or 10.
Yeah, I had enough of the tree. Maybe the other creatures would be a little bit more cooperative. Let's see how the ox plays. Ox is usually pretty good. There we go.
A little sad as we're starting to come up to the last couple fights here. It's been such a nice game. I love this game. I hope everybody's been enjoying it.
We will likely have time to show you the ending song, which is nice. It's a really good song.
You'll never know what was in those treasure chests.
Nope. Oh well. Rip treasures.
Come on, Wind Slasher, get them all. I thought that was pretty good. It's just weird how it missed some of the...
I think because the yellow dragon was doing like a dive bomb. That might be why it kind of missed it a little bit. The real legend of mana is the chocobos we kill along the way. Wow. That's sad. Alright, here we go. Mana Goddess. The Mana Goddess can be a super duper jerk, but we'll see how she plays today.
Yeah, ideally here, again, we're going to go for... We want to line up and get some counter-strikes in. That's essentially the way the fights needs to work. Mana Goddess STs are insane.
And very, very, very damaging.
Yeah, they take a lot of time. They hurt a lot. Especially the most powerful one, which is, I guess, like 2 or 3 in, so... We get a good setup here, though. I'm hoping for. Let's go. Could be a really quick fight.
If she wants to dance in the right line, anyway. Nope. She's dancing everywhere but where I want her to dance.
Trying to line up with her toes. Trying to get her to bite on an attack.
Ooh, I got a lunging mark in. That was nice.
I don't
Sometimes
think I've
you
ever
can
seen a
you can
lunging mark
sneak
get
a
landed.
lunging mark in.
That's amazing. Good line, just can't get the... Worry's out for a while, so he's not too much use here anyway. We're just trying to get one more counterattack.
And time.
Nicely done. First try, Monogatars.
That was really nice, especially getting the lunging mark in. That was great.
GG. Yeah, that was incredible. Nice job.
Yeah, you have to be really good about your timing with any STs with this lady, because she will make you suffer if you miss. But let's watch the ending, because the ending is really cool. And the song is just totally worth hearing. And we have time anyway.
Yeah, we get to see a lot of the story we totally skipped.
Yep, we do actually. But it's kind of neat. After you defeat the Monogoddess, all of the Sproutlings everywhere get called to the Mana Tree to kind of heal it and recover it.
Yeah, I think it's just a really nice run. Very easy to pick up. Not punishing in most cases. It's nice.
Yeah, definitely the worst things about the run are getting familiar with some of the worst bosses with the wonky hitboxes, so Crimson Dragon and Monogoddess, and how much time you have to spend farming equipment if you need to.
You might have a marathon record there for the Brave Blade.
That was pretty awful. Pollen allergies. Thank you for all the GGs, chat. I'm very happy to have been able to share this with y'all. This was a run I picked up for a 12-hour challenge like a year ago, and I haven't had a chance to do much with it up until now, so I'm very happy. If you are interested in learning it, I think all of the main storyline runs do have guides on speedrun.com, so the guides are super easy to follow and highly recommend them. And the community is very good about answering questions as well in the Mana Discord.
Yeah, I think I picked up the game. I played it once through, when I was young, and then I just followed the guide to do the speedrun, and the guide is perfect.
Yeah, it's basically what I did too. I haven't full played casually this since it came out. And the ending song is in which language? Is it Swedish or?
In Swedish, yeah.
It is Swedish.
they wanted something to sound that sounded a little different, and they found a Swedish singer.
There are way too many scenes with Niccolo here. I'm very unhappy.
Is he going to our house? What?
But yeah, enjoy the ending song, folks. All right, RGL. Thank you so much for having Sin and I here. I hope you are ready for a super awesome ghosts and goblins and ghouls and ghosts and all kinds of spooky scariness coming up next, coming at you from all directions. And Sin, you'll be back later tonight, right?
Yeah, I'm doing ActRaiser, but definitely first enjoy. I mean, you got some of the best in the ghouls community coming up next, so definitely enjoy that. And I'll see you later. Running ActRaiser, yep.
All right, folks. Stay right where you are because, again, you have some awesome ghouls action coming at you.